Hi everybody, Ron Mead here. I got a question yesterday and I thought it was of general interest, and I thought I might address it to everyone rather than responding to the subscriber directly. So one of our subscribers, Dan, who's been successful in real estate investing, wrote me a note yesterday, and I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but he does talk about the claim that so many people are making now about probate being an untapped market, an unknown market. And part of his letter says that what he's finding is more and more people are becoming competition for his deals, and he wanted to know if there's anything he could do about that. So I thought I would address the first issue. And when I wrote my first book back in 2005, 7 years ago, probate was pretty much unknown. I did my first probate deal in 1996, and I don't think anybody was doing it back then. So, but as the years moved on and people found out what a great market it was to be in, obviously more and more people heard about it and starting using probate as a field to prospect in for their deals. And the reason is very simple: is you're always looking for motivated sellers. And in probate, every seller is motivated. They need to sell the house. They want to divide the money up between the heirs. They want to pay off any existing bills. They don't want to take care of another house. They don't want to take care of another mortgage. So that's the huge advantage that probate has. Now, in the last 2 or 3 years, probate has become even more attractive because a lot of the other arenas that people were using to discover motivated sellers has kind of fallen apart. Take short sales and foreclosures and those types of things. They're just flooded with people, thousands and thousands of people. I've been to seminars where 300 and 400 people attended to learn how, and those seminars were going on every month. So I don't want to mislead anybody and say you're going to be the only person you'll ever see if you start working in probate. That's not going to be the case. But really, competition, I'm not sure, is really what the problem is. Now, understand, I come from the restaurant business, and there's no more competitive field in the restaurant business, so it could be my perspective is a little bit different. But here's what I think you can do to make your offers even more attractive. And that is, what I've always done is build a rapport with the seller. I don't just write it out and email them or mail it to them with FedEx or anything like that. I go and personally visit with the sellers. Now, you can't do that every time. I understand that. But 80–90% of the time, you can actually go and have coffee with the seller and get them to tell you about the house that they're selling. Oftentimes, these are kids that were brought up in the very house that's being sold. I remember spending 3 or 4 hours with one guy one time. We ended up making a very big deal, the biggest profitable deal I've ever done. And I think part of it was because I spent so much time listening to him to tell stories about how he played baseball in the field over where the Albertsons is now, and how this used to be a vacant lot out back, and he and his brother used to go out and look for animals out in the back. And so I went through a whole variety of things that really didn't have much to do with the actual selling of the property, but it had tons to do with me building a rapport and showing interest in that person as a person, not just as an entity selling the property. So I think that is the first tip that I would give you. Secondly, don't try to hit a home run on every deal. Not every deal is going to profit you $25,000 or $30,000. I've had deals I made $3,750 on, but they were still worthwhile for me. And I would encourage you, if you're just starting out, be willing to make $3,000 or $4,000. The knowledge that you'll gain in putting together your first transaction far outweighs any money that you're going to make. So don't try to, I know a lot of people who sell real estate strategies. You hear them on TV or online. You probably get as many emails as I do. They always proclaim how easy it is to do if you'll follow their system and how much money you're going to make. Well, this is a business. This is just like any other business. You've got to invest some time and effort, but the exciting part that you have is the payoffs are good enough that it's worth that time and effort. If you only did 2 deals a year and you made $4,000 on each deal, that would be an extra $8,000. And if you made, let's just pick a number, you made $40,000 last year, that's a 20% increase in income for a part-time job. That's pretty lucrative in my book. So to answer Dan, I hope I've never made the statement that there's no competition out there. I know I say there's little, and I use that term over and over again, little, if any, competition. There's not any competition compared to any other strategies I know, but there will be some. So you need to build rapport, and you need to make sure that your offer is not an outrageous offer that you're going to hit a home run on. I've often asked the seller, what kind of offers do you have? Where do I have to be to make this deal work? Many times they'll tell you. Now you run the risk of them saying, well, you've got to be at 158 when the best offer they've ever gotten was 175. So you have to use some judgment. But my point again would be, make sure you build a rapport with the seller. You're trying to satisfy a problem that he has. That's what you're there for. And hopefully the satisfaction of that problem will provide a financial reward for you. And second, ask them or find out what kind of offers they're getting. And if it doesn't work for you, be willing to walk away. I remember taking a negotiating course one time, and they said the first thing in negotiating is be prepared to walk away at any time. So don't get so locked into a deal that this is the only thing you can see. So I know the video is a little long, but hopefully this explanation will help a little bit. If you've got further questions, email me, and I'll answer them in videos so everybody gets the benefit of them. So I wish you a great week. Fall's coming on. Halloween's coming up. We get all the trick-or-treaters at our house. We're loaded for bear this year. We bought extra candy, so that's always a fun time for Sharon and I. So we'll talk with you soon. Bye now.